So day two of the Elliot Page news, I guess you can call it. It was on the front page of the BBC. It was everywhere. I didn't know who this person was. I didn't know what Umbrella Academy was, but now I do, because it's everywhere. Yeah. I'm a little bit peeved, to be honest, because if you say anything negative about any of this, if you're not happy, let's put it like this, it's getting to the point where you need to clap. You need to clap, because otherwise you're a bigot, you know, and if you say anything negative, clearly it's because you hate transgender people. So let me make it absolutely clear. I don't hate them, but I don't worship them either. I mean, it's like just another person to me. Just to put it like this, I have transgender people that are giving me money through Patreon. Like, I'm literally funded by transgender people, right? And most transgender people that fund me are a little bit annoyed by all of this. And we're going to go right into the meat of it. Apparently, this is circulating amongst journalists in order to know how they should tackle the story. This is beyond tiring. I mean, it looks like the type of rules that you see on a swimming pool. It's like, make sure you shower before going into the swimming pool. You know, don't go under the swimming pool. Don't do this and that. It's like, it's really weird. It's bizarre. What the heck are you doing? You know, like when you look at this, and this is what my trans friends told me, they find this more problematic. The reason they find it problematic is because a lot of people are going to assume that if they make a mistake and they break one of these rules, then they're in danger. They're in danger of being fired. They're in danger of being ostracized from their friends. So what a lot of people do is they just choose not to engage. Because you're not going to break any of the rules if you just don't engage, if you just avoid the person. And, you know, like, this is a bad thing. This is a bad thing. But, you know, they're not millionaires, I guess. They don't get to be an actor in order to lecture other people on how to behave. So we're not going to hear from them. The voices of the marginalized, I suppose, right? Like if you're happening to be trans and you're not a left-leaning ideologue, people aren't going to hear from you. Which again, like it's kind of disheartening. I guess I give voice to the voiceless, right? But I just want to say that a lot of these people that lecture others on how to behave don't seem to follow their own rules. Because if they did, they would start to complain, like, why is a white man playing the role of a woman? I mean, a lot of these progressive critics are very aware. They're very conscientious of these things that I personally didn't even care about. You know, like, if I saw Bollywood play an Indian Superman, I wouldn't care. I'm like, meh. But these people get really riled up when a woman that's half Indian, half English plays Jasmine, which is the princess of the fictional land Agrabah. Like, apparently, it doesn't match the correct genetics for the actor to play something. Like, remember when the idea of an actor is literally to play something you're not? I mean, if Charles Xavier, right, is played by Patrick, they're not going to cripple Patrick to make sure that he sits in a wheelchair, now will they? Right? Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. The whole point of an actor is to play something they're not. If an actor plays a cancer patient, you're not actually going to give them cancer, now are you? But no, for some reason, it's okay until it comes to race or sexuality or gender. Like, I don't know why. I don't know, like, who makes these rules? Who made these rules? And they say, you know, like, you're allowed as a multi-millionaire actor to play a person that's in poverty. You're allowed as a multi-millionaire actor that's completely healthy to play a guy in a wheelchair, but you're not allowed to play a fictional character from Agrabah unless you have the right genetics. And they did the same. Like, the thing that I found the funniest was that I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago when Twitter didn't have the rules that you're not allowed to misgender people and whatnot. They had this movie coming out where they wanted to tell the story of a trans person. I forgot the name of the movie. If someone can remind me in the comment section, I'll thank you for it. But what ends up happening is that they're casting a cisgender woman, right? And activists complain, not the trans people, but no one hears from the trans people. There's no polls or survey from the community. All we hear about is the millionaires that are on top. You know, we hear from the activists. And the activists started complaining about that movie. They wanted, like, the role of a trans person being cast. So eventually, they just canceled the whole movie. Like, they scrapped the idea because, from what I understand, like, the woman they wanted to cast was a famous actress. And that was, like, who would get butts in seats. But because of, like, the controversy surrounding it, they didn't want to risk it. So they didn't want to risk losing money. But, yeah, like, this is it. You know, if you put a straight person that's cis to play the role of a trans person, then it's an uproar. All of a sudden, it's not an uproar with the Umbrella Academy, where now I guess a white man is playing the role of a woman. That's perfectly fine. Like the levels of hypocrisy, and again, if you call it out, you're transphobic just by calling it out, just by saying, like, come on, like, this doesn't make sense. Can you please explain it to me? No, we're not going to explain it to you. We're going to censor you. Like, make sure no one hears from you again, because we can't even explain that shit. So because we can't explain that shit, we'll just silence you. Make sure that you're quiet. Absolutely, just bewildering. I got no problem with Elliot playing whatever they want. It's up to them. Like, I think that actors, unless they're playing something historical, you know, like, it's fine. I mean, you know, you're not going to cast a black Zeus, right? Like, Zeus being never mind. They did that. They casted the black Zeus. You know, Zeus being a Greek god depicted as... fine. You're not going to play a white Shaka Zulu, now are you? Okay? You're not going to put an Asian Martin Luther King, now are you? Right? Because it wouldn't make sense. It just breaks immersion. Like, every time you see it on the screen, you're like, what the hell, you know? You're not going to put a black Hitler there. It just looks weird. I guess you can put a black woman to play a queen, a princess from England. Like, that's fine. Okay, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a lot of wiggle room to be had. Maybe there's, like, a lot of wiggle room. But you're not going to put a person that's white to play the role of a Tibetan. Now, well, no, that's outrage, right? So you need to be careful with these things. You need to be very careful with how you're doing the casting. It's very important. Again, it only is important when it's about the gender and the sexuality. If it's about anything else, it's fine. Who makes these rules? Do they even affect the sales of a movie? Like, does it even matter? Do more people come to see the movie if you're casting it? Or how exactly does it work? And this is why they're upset about the clown meme. Because it is clownish. It's like, it makes no sense. Like, what like walking around a circus? The rules that they're bringing. Yeah. And by the way, like, here's another question. Right. So, because I'm a bit new at this. You know, like, I'm a boomer. I need this explained. Okay, so, if Elliot is now a man, does that mean that his wife is now straight? Because the wife used to be a lesbian before, right? I mean, there was, like, the whole thing where they came out and they were like, okay, they're lesbian. But now they transition. So, the wife, which used to be is now straight. Is that where, is that, like, did they discover gay conversion therapy? Because she used to be a lesbian before and now she's straight. How does that work? Can anyone make sense of this? Like, I'm a little curious. No, I'm not, look. I'm just asking questions. Like, I just want to ask. I'm not saying anything. Heaven forbid. I'm not saying anything. The terms of service. Oh, I'm just curious. Like, explain it to me so I can understand how that works. The Christians have tried it for years, but now apparently progressives have figured it out. In order to... Okay, so if you have a gay man, and he's married with another man, okay, they're gay, right? Like that. But if one man starts identifying as a woman, then the gay man becomes straight, or at least bi, I guess, right? Like, how? No, seriously, I need answers. Like, this is an important question, all right? I can't sleep at night unless I figure it out. I need to figure it out, because I work on social media. If I don't figure it out, I might get banned for violating the terms of service on Twitter. I don't want to violate the terms. I need the understanding. Like, I need someone to explain it to me because it's complicated. You know, like, sorry. You know, I finished 2 universities. I finished medicine and I finished law school. But I just can't get my hand around this. Like, this is way too complicated for me. I think I need to go to a 3rd university, huh? Gender studies, huh? Or LGBT studies to become an expert on homosexuality. So not only can I understand it for myself, but to teach it to other people. Yeah. But no, like, you know what's interesting about this? Like, there's two things that are interesting. Number one, this is a great promotional stunt. I mean, everyone knows about the Umbrella Company. Because all the mainstream media is talking about it. As if this is the first transgender person that has ever walked on Earth. It's bizarre. I mean, do you know how many people transition every year? Why don't they talk about those stories? Why is it only millionaires? That's my question. Why is it that the rich people matter more? And secondly, the thing that I have to wonder is like reading about them talking about how oppressed they were. It's like, you're a millionaire. Go cry in your bags of money if you're oppressed. They can hire whatever lawyers they want. They can hire as much security there. They're a millionaire. You know how many homeless people that also are transgender exist? A lot of them. Why don't we talk about them? Why don't we cover their stories? Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the comment section.